Today I'll be talking about developmentally appropriate practices, also known as DPA. So what is it? According to the textbook definition, it is ways of teaching that engage children's interests and adapt for their age, experience, and ability to help them meet challenging and achievable learning goals. This basically says that what we teach young children should be based on what is known about how they develop and learn optimally. There are three main current issues that affect DPA, the first being push-down curriculum. This means that things usually taught in kindergarten are now taught in preschool. With push-down curriculum, the trend toward increased academic focus in kindergarten means that it's hard to focus on DPA. The time and materials for play aren't given, which leads to children experiencing stress, not being judged not ready for kindergarten, or struggling and failing in early schooling. The new requirements by push-down curriculum put additional pressure on teachers in earlier grades. Secondly, Common Core state standards, which were adopted by 45 states, provide goals that are not achievable for most K-3 children. They lead to developmentally inappropriate practices and narrow the curriculum into two subject areas. Common Core state standards say what students should know and be able to do, but not how to teach these things. And thirdly, appropriate practices in the digital age affect DPA. We need to focus on the quality and value of content provided via digital devices. We need to promote effective integration of high-quality, developmentally appropriate media. Quality and appropriateness, context within it is used, and age and characteristics of individuals are all things that need to be taken into account. Intentional teaching is another main thing with DPA. Teachers must plan carefully in advance, but also be able to make decisions throughout the day. With purposeful planning, teachers need to think about what will help foster learning and reach goals. With this, they observe and assess the students to figure out how things are working. With understanding and explaining practices, teachers need to be able to explain their practices to others, but also be able to modify plans in case things don't work out. With this, they need to be able to reflect on their own decisions and see how well the children are doing. There are 5 key roles the teachers play with developmentally appropriate practices. The first being creating a caring community of learners. There are several key ideas that go along with this. The 3 main important ones are care and education are equally important. Children learn through positive relationships, and learning context matters. It is important for the child to see themselves represented either literally or through other people. It's important for teachers to make the children feel like they belong, and through this, the children are better able to regulate their behavior and emotions and make friends. Secondly, with enhancing learning and development, the teachers need to keep children in mind as well as the learning goals. They need to use a variety of different teaching strategies as well as various learning contexts. Behaviors need to vary within the setting. Thirdly, with planning curriculum to achieve important goals, teachers focus on the what, the content that the students are expected to learn. It must be implemented with attention to individual differences in children. It must offer flexibility and room for adaptation. Fourthly, assess development and learning is an integral component. Teachers must draw on information in an ongoing process to see children's learning and development. They must use appropriate, accurate tools to assess children. And lastly, it's important for teachers to build relationships not with the students but also with their families. They need to focus on two-way relationships where information and power is shared, and there's an open line of communication between the parent and the families. By doing this, teachers are better able to find out things about the students that might not be apparent.